Cosmin Munteanu.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Great. It's great to see you. Sorry, it's great to see all of you here. And I'd like to keep my presentation very short. Leave room for questions. So I'd like to start with a very quick question. How many of you recognize this and can tell me what language this is in? And once you figure out the language, tell me what this means. Okay. Maybe a hand or two. Okay. I'm guessing. Okay, how about this? Does it make easier? Okay, more hands. Yeah, that's helpful. Okay, how about this? Well, hopefully everyone raises their arms. Well, they all mean the same thing, and it's good morning, everyone. The first one is in Klingon. Yes, I'm a closeted Trekkie. And so now the question is, did you feel any sort of frustration trying to kind of figure out what it is? Well, maybe not. It's just, well, it's a different language. Maybe, it's kind of fun to learn different languages, but it's not a big deal if you don't know all of them, right? And, well, who speaks Klingon except Trekkies and Klingons? Well, now I'm going to ask you to imagine this. Well, your first language is English, and you see that text in English, but what you see instead is something like this. So you kind of figure out that some characters you should probably recognize, but it just doesn't add up together. Well, there's a lot of people that have that problem, and it's called a literacy problem. And we're fortunate in Canada we don't have a big problem with literacy, but we're still having a little bit of a problem. And what problem we're having is called functional literacy. And that means while most people can read, good morning, they can, write their name and do simple tasks like that, they actually struggle a lot with more complicated words. They struggle with complicated sentences, with technical terms. They have a hard time reading the newspaper, understanding a lot of the articles in the newspaper. And actually, the numbers are quite staggering. There's 9 million adults in Canada that are having this problem. It's called functional literacy, and that's typically defined as level 1 or 2 of literacy. And what in today's society, and I see all the tweets and everything going on, it's a lot of information that you have to manipulate to be able to just go by. Well, a lot of these people cannot deal with this. They just don't have the skills to understand even Twitter feeds, if you want. What's required in today's society is level 3, which is what you sort of acquire going, like when you're in secondary school. Now, unfortunately, the problem is a little bit more serious in New Brunswick. 60% of New Brunswick adults are struggling with functional literacy. And for these people, seeing technical words like these ones, and these are from an electrical textbook that's for electrical apprenticeships, these people are struggling to understand these words, but they have to use them every day. Sometimes they know them, but they cannot spell them. If you ask them to write them down, they have a hard time. When they see a manual they have to read, put together 2 wires and not burn the house down, it's a little bit hard for them. So it's a struggle. And these people are everywhere, and they have to function in today's society. But the good news is there's an app for that, like for everything else. And the app is called Alex, and he has been built here in Fredericton at the National Research Council. And Alex stands for Adult Literacy Support Application for Experiential Learning. And what it basically is, it's a mobile assistive technology. So people use it to help themselves, to support themselves. But it's not just a support tool, it's a learning tool. So I want people to use this app and learn vocabulary, understand more and more complicated sentences. And it encourages people to learn new vocabulary and learn to write and read better by doing everyday tasks. And typically, the way people use this app is adults who are enrolled in literacy classes. And there are adult literacy classes in New Brunswick, and a lot of people are enrolled in these classes. They want to get themselves better. They want to learn how to read and write better. And they can use this app on the side of their classes. So we're not replacing any classroom activities. We're just giving them an extra support tool. So why do we need Alex? Well, first of all, a lot of these people that are low literacy adults are employed. Just around New Brunswick in the Atlantic provinces, 50% of these people currently have a job. They want to get better jobs, or their employers, their businesses, are struggling to to promote them or trying to employ them properly because they don't have the proper vocabulary, they don't have the proper language abilities. And that's a big problem. And there's a couple of good statistics. So just 1% increase in the country's literacy levels leads to significant more increases in labor productivity. That means people can perform their jobs much better. But also that means they can have a little bit more money. For Canada, the average is about $1,000 per person per year more. Governments love that because that means extra tax money. And everyone loves tax money. But everyone wants an extra $1,000 per year. And that comes easy, just improve the literacy skills. So how does our app work to support literacy? Well, it's been designed to run on ultra-mobile devices. Currently, it runs on Windows tablets of various sizes. Our preferred size is the 7-inch tablets. And it's been built as a very interactive application around the dictionary. And we were being fortunate to work with HarperCollins, which makes very good dictionaries that are suitable for all language scales. And the dictionary has a lot of examples, it has a lot of additional tools. So what we're doing, we're wrapping an interactive application around it. And the main activity you can do is just look up words in the dictionary. We have a soft keyboard that's very easy to use. People type in a word, and they can get a definition. But the problem a lot of the times is that these people have a hard time reading as well. So we gave them a little bit of extra help. We have text-to-speech in the application, and the text-to-speech engine reads out the definition. Not only reads out loud the definition, but it's synchronized. It's like a karaoke machine. It shows you word by word as the speech goes by. You can just also pause it and just click on a word, and you get a pronunciation for that word. So that helps people also read at their own pace, because you can set up your own pace and how fast you want to read through. And the text-to-speech assists you doing that. The other problem these people are having is spelling properly. So they might know a word. They might know what that word means, but they have no idea how to spell it. They have a good guess. So we're giving them a little bit of assistance and helping them better type in a word or find definitions for similar words as well. And because we want this application to be used both in everyday tasks but also in a classroom, what people can do is they can save their favorite words. That means either words they're struggling with, or if the teacher gave them some homework to learn new words, they can save this word, carry them with all around, and they can just look back at these more complicated words. Because when you learn a language, you want to acquire new vocabulary. Even if it's your own native language, you want to improve your vocabulary. We also give people access to various thesaurus tools. Mainly synonyms. That's a big activity when you learn new languages. You learn a new word, but you want to find what are the synonyms. Sometimes antonyms as well. And finally, because most of these people are struggling with pronunciation as well, especially for new words, and especially for more complicated words they're seeing, we want to help them a little bit with that. So we have another language tool, which is automatic speech recognition. And what people can do is if they have a word that they're struggling pronouncing, they can type the word, and they can record themselves pronouncing the word. And the system gives them a score and tells them that's great, or try again, or it's not so good. But it's not only that. They can hear themselves say that word, and they can hear Alex say that word correctly. And they can repeat that many times as they want, so they can get sort of a feedback on how they're pronouncing the word, and that sort of reinforces their learning. So Alex is not just a simple app. It was the result of a research project, and this was done by experts at NRC. These were people in human-computer interaction and natural language processing. So every little bit of help that's on the screen, it's been carefully designed and studied with users and validated through a lot of experiments. Make sure that it has the highest impact possible. But we got a lot of help from curricula developers and teachers at the Adult Literacy Network. We're doing a great job in helping adults who are struggling with literacy. And the focus when we designed this was to not just give them another resources for the classroom, but basically to help people become more independent. Dictionaries are all heavy. Nobody likes to carry a dictionary around. And definitely you're not going to take it with you when you go grocery shopping and struggling to understand words that are printed somewhere, or reading the bus schedule. But a mobile app, it's very handy. And we want people to be more independent outside the classroom. They go to their teacher with help for a lot of strange things. Sometimes they don't understand their gas bill, or the cables on TV have changed and their cable company send them a letter and they don't understand that letter. They take the letter to the classroom and they ask the teacher for help. With an app that's always around with them, they can get that kind of help. And we didn't assume anything about the user. These are people from all walks of life. So the application is very inclusive and it can be used easily by everyone. And we hope that by using an app, people are actually becoming more comfortable with technology. And here probably we're in the wrong crowd because all of us are using it. And I see all the Twitter buzz, and it's just, we're all used to using technology. But a lot of people out there are still scared of technology. They're still afraid of using computers. And it's kind of strange in this time, but that's the reality. So we're hoping that an app that shows them how computer science and applications can provide help in their daily life will encourage them to become less afraid of technology. And finally, it's good for teachers to have a little bit of extra help as well. So we actually validated this. We took it to a class for 6 months. So students were using it in the classroom, outside the classroom. They were carrying the tablets around. And we found out that it just changed the way they were motivated. Before this, people were struggling to come to the classrooms because they have a job, they have kids, sometimes they don't have a car, so it's very hard for them to get to these classes, which are 2 hours every day or 4 hours every day in the evening. But with an app, it just changed the way they were looking at learning, and it was fun. I mean, nobody likes to really sit in a classroom all day long and just learn. But if you have a little bit of technology that makes it more interactive, it can be a little bit more fun. And it helped them go outside the classroom and still learn. We had people taking it to grocery shopping and using it to understand the recipes that were posted on in front of the grocery store and help them understand new words. And they were saying, oh, I found this new thing, and it's just great. I could cook some dish that I never cooked before. And their whole attitude towards learning. So these people are ashamed of their lack of literacy skills. And they hide it very well. Probably most of you are not aware of how many people are struggling with literacy. But having a mobile app just changes their attitude. So they are more willing to learn, but also more willing to interact in society because they have something that they can rely on. We had people saying they were afraid to read the newspaper in public because they would want to see, they don't want to be seen like struggling reading the newspaper. But they were keeping their tablet on at the coffee shop, and they were just going through the newspaper and just checking the tablet. It just feels naturally. All of us are having a mobile device with us all the time. So it's more natural now. We hate that when we see people on the street with a mobile device, but that can help too. So overall, they were more independent and they felt more confident. So just to wrap this up, really computer science can be used to improve the greater good. And we have an app for that. And it's in New Brunswick. So I'd like to acknowledge my research team and our collaborators, and I'm going to hand it over to Bill. Thanks.